Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a fascinating piece of American history that could change your life if you happen to find one in your pocket change. We're talking about the 1776 to 1976 no-mint mark Washington quarter dollar, a coin that has made waves in the numismatic world and is now valued at a jaw-dropping $1.8 million. But how does this coin go from being a simple pocket coin to a rare collector's item worth a fortune? Stick with us as we break down everything you need to know about this incredible coin. First, let's set the stage. The 1776 to 1976 Washington quarter was issued to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. The U.S. Mint decided to issue a special commemorative coin, which was a unique version of the regular Washington quarter. To honor the occasion, they struck this coin with a special bicentennial design. But here's the kicker, some of these quarters were struck without a mint mark. But why does this matter? Cut to a visual explanation of a coin showing the mint mark and highlighting different mint locations like Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. To understand why the lack of a mint mark is so important, let's quickly talk about what a mint mark is. A mint mark is a small letter stamped onto a coin, typically to indicate where it was produced. The most common mint marks for quarters in the U.S. are D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and no mint mark at all, which traditionally indicates the Philadelphia Mint. Most coins from that era had one of these mint marks, but not all of them. Now, here's where it gets interesting. While the majority of 1776 to 1976 Washington quarters feature either a D or an S mint mark, a very limited number of these coins were struck without any mint mark at all. This was an oversight by the U.S. Mint, and no one really realized the significance of these no-mint mark coins at the time. But as the years passed and collectors started looking more closely at these quarters, they began to realize that these coins were incredibly rare. So, what makes these coins so rare? Well, in total, only a small number of these quarters were ever struck without a mint mark, and the exact number is still a bit of a mystery. This rarity is what drives their value. Coin collectors, or numismatists, often say that when it comes to coins, rarity is key. The fewer there are, the more valuable they become. And this particular quarter, due to its unusual lack of mint mark, has become one of the most coveted coins in the world. Now we're getting to the exciting part. You might be wondering, how much is this quarter worth today? Well, depending on its condition and provenance, a 1776 to 1976 Washington quarter without a mint mark has sold for as much as $1.8 million at auction. That's right, $1.8 million. You might think this is some sort of myth, but believe it or not, it happened in a high-profile auction. The coin in question was graded in exceptional condition, and its rarity combined with its historical significance pushed its value to astronomical heights. Now, not every 1776 to 1976 no-mint mark quarter is going to fetch millions. The key to determining a coin's value is its condition. Coins are graded based on their appearance, with a scale ranging from good to mint state. The better the condition of the coin, the higher its value. The $1.8 million coin we're talking about was graded at a nearly perfect level, which is one of the reasons it fetched such a high price. But even lesser grade versions of this coin can be worth a pretty penny, especially if you've got one of the few rare no-mint mark quarters in your collection. Now that you know the value, you probably want to know how to spot one of these rare quarters, right? Well, here's what you need to look for. First, take a look at the reverse side of the coin, which features the original 1776 to 1976 design. If there's no mint mark under the eagle, you've got a potential gem on your hands. This is the key feature to look out for. Be sure to also examine the coin for its condition. The cleaner, sharper, and more detailed the coin, the higher its value. Once you've found a 1776 to 1976 no-mint mark quarter, you'll want to handle it with care. Avoid touching it directly with your fingers, as oils from your skin can degrade the surface. Use soft cotton gloves or hold the coin by its edges. And when it comes to storage, consider investing in a protective case or a professional-grade coin holder to keep your coin in pristine condition. The better the preservation, the higher the potential value. Camera cuts to the host standing with a collection of various quarters, including the 1776 to 1976 no mint mark quarter. Narrator. So, there you have it, the incredible story of the 1776 to 1976 no mint mark Washington quarter. This coin, once just another piece of pocket change, is now a prized treasure worth over $1.8 million in the right condition. It just goes to show how valuable history can be, and how the smallest details can make all the difference in the world of coin collecting. If you happen to have one of these quarters, or if you ever come across one in your change, you might want to get it appraised because you could be holding on to a small fortune. 1981 P Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin and its incredible value. And yes, you heard that right. This coin is worth up to $1.6 million. Stick around because we're going to explore the history, rarity, and most importantly, how this coin became one of the most valuable finds in modern coin collecting. Let's get started. First, let's take a step back in time. The Washington quarter, which features the image of George Washington on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse, has been a mainstay in U.S. coinage since 1932. But in 1981, something unusual happened at the Philadelphia Mint. During regular production, the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of these quarters. The 1981 P Washington quarter is relatively common, and in its everyday state, it's worth just 25 cents. So, what makes this particular coin so rare and valuable? Well, this is where things get interesting. You see, while the 1981 P Mint Mark quarters were generally mass-produced, a select few were struck with a very rare error. In 1981, the Philadelphia Mint accidentally produced a small batch of Washington quarters with a minting error, a mistake so rare that it's now worth an astonishing $1.6 million. These coins have a particular characteristic that sets them apart. They feature a double die error, which is a result of a mistake during the minting process. Essentially, the die used to strike the coin was improperly aligned, causing the design to be imprinted multiple times in different positions. This led to a slightly blurred or doubled image on the coin's face, especially noticeable on Washington's cheek, the letters of Liberty, and the date itself. So, how can you tell if you've got a valuable 1981 P Mint Mark Washington quarter in your pocket? Here's a simple guide to identify this error coin. Check the mint mark just to the right of Washington's neck. The P stands for Philadelphia, and it's essential for this coin's rarity. Focus on the date, the 1981 marking. If you notice any doubling or blurring around the date or lettering, that's a sign you may have an error coin. Look closely at Washington's face. If his cheek or the surrounding features appear doubled or smeared, that's a key giveaway. While this is trickier, the doubling effect may extend slightly beyond the design, showing in the rim of the coin as well. Now, if your coin checks these boxes, you might just have a rare and valuable find. But remember, not all 1981 P Mint Mark quarters are worth a fortune, only the ones with that elusive double die error. Now you might be wondering, why is this specific error coin worth so much money? Great question. The reason lies in the rarity of the error, combined with the high demand in the numismatic community. Coins with minting errors, especially ones as distinctive as this double die issue, are highly sought after by collectors. In fact, some error coins can sell for exponentially more than their face value, especially when they're in excellent condition. The 1981 P Mint Mark Washington quarter with this double die error has fetched prices upwards of $1.6 million at public auctions. But of course, this only applies to well-preserved specimens. Coins with minimal wear, clean surfaces, and clear doubling are the ones that catch the attention of serious collectors and investors. So, how do you know how much your coin is worth? Well, it largely depends on its condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being these are the most sought after and could fetch anywhere from $500 to $1.6 million, depending on the quality. If your coin has somewhere but the error is still visible, it might still be worth $50 to $200. Even a heavily worn 1981 P quarter with the error can be worth something, but it'll likely be in the $10 to $50 range. So if you've got one of these rare coins, you may be asking where to sell or buy one. There are a few avenues you can explore. Local coin shops often deal in rare coins, but they may offer less than what you could get at auction. Websites like eBay and heritage auctions are great places to buy or sell rare coins. Be sure to authenticate the coin before making any deals. Attending a coin show can also connect you with collectors and dealers who specialize in rare and valuable coins. To wrap it up, the 1981 P Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin is truly a hidden gem in the world of coin collecting. Its rare double die error has turned it into a highly sought-after treasure that can be worth as much as $1.6 million in the right condition. If you have one, be sure to check for the key signs of the error, and if you're looking to add one to your collection, now you know what to look for. 1983 P Mint Mark Washington $quarter. But is this coin really worth that much? How can you tell if you have one? Stick around, because we're about to dive into all the details. Let's get started. So, let's first take a look at this quarter. You may be wondering, what makes this coin so special? I mean, the 1983 Washington $quarter is not exactly rare, right? We see them all the time in circulation. But what if I told you that a specific 1983 P Mint Mark Washington $quarter just recently sold for a staggering $1.8 million? Yes, you heard that correctly. A 1983 P Washington $quarter recently fetched $1.8 million at auction. But how did this particular coin rise to such a monumental value? Well, that's the mystery we're going to uncover in this video. Stay with me as we break down what makes a 1983 P $quarter worth that much, and how you can identify if yours might be the next big find. First, let's talk about the Washington $quarter in general. This coin was first minted in 1932 to honor the first U.S. President, George Washington. Since then, it has been a staple in American coinage, minted in large quantities every year. The design typically features Washington's bust on the obverse, or front, and an eagle on the reverse, or back, though the design has changed over the years to celebrate different milestones in U.S. history. Now, the 1983 P Mint Mark Washington $quarter is pretty typical in appearance. The P on the coin stands for the Philadelphia Mint, where this particular quarter was struck. But as we'll get into, it's not just the typical 1983 P coin that you need to worry about. There's a very special version of this coin that's key to its value. So what makes this 1983 P $quarter so special? Well, it's not about its design or rarity, it's about something far more unusual. A mint error. You see, most 1983 P $quarters are worth just 25 cents, but a small number of these coins have a very distinct and rare flaw. This flaw makes them far more valuable. The coin that sold for $1.8 million had a serious minting error, and I'm going to explain exactly what that error was. Here's the error you need to watch for. It's known as a double die error. This happens when the coins die. The metal stamp used to strike the design makes contact with the coin multiple times. This results in a blurry or doubled image on the coin's design. On the 1983 P $quarter that sold for $1.8 million, the doubling was particularly noticeable on Washington's eye, his lips, and the rim of the coin. Now, let's talk about how this coin went from being a regular 1983 P $quarter to one that fetched such an incredible sum. After being discovered, this quarter was sent to a reputable grading service, where it was graded based on its condition and error type. The coin received a high grade, and once it was confirmed that the error was legitimate, it was sent to auction. The grading process is crucial in determining a coin's value. Coins are graded based on their condition, with the best examples getting a grade of MS 70, that's mint state 70, meaning it's in perfect condition. The more pristine the coin, the higher the value. In the case of the 1983 P $quarter with a mint error, it was graded as MS 66, an excellent grade for a coin with a mint error. So, how much is a regular 1983 P Washington $quarter worth? Well, in most cases, it's worth its face value, just 25 cents. But as we've seen with this rare error coin, the right type of minting flaw can cause the value to skyrocket. If you happen to have a coin with this same type of mint error, or if it has any other rare characteristics, it could potentially be worth thousands, or even millions. Now you may be wondering, how do you spot these rare mint errors? Well, it takes a keen eye and some patience. Look closely at the design of the coin, especially in areas like the date, mint mark, and around the rim. If you notice doubling, blurring, or any unusual features in the design, that could be a sign of a mint error. If you're unsure, it's always a good idea to send the coin to a professional for grading. If you're a serious collector, remember that coins with mint errors are much rarer than regular ones, and they tend to appreciate in value over time. But remember, condition is key. A worn-out error coin might not bring in much, so take good care of your coins. To sum it up, while most 1983p Washington quarters are not worth much, the rare few with minting errors can be worth millions. If you've got a 1983p quarter lying around, take a closer look. It might just be hiding a very valuable mistake. 2001p mint mark Washington quarter dollar coin, a coin that could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. That's right, this quarter is no ordinary coin. So if you're a collector, or just curious about how something like this could be worth so much, stick around. Let's get into it. Now you may be thinking, wait a second, it's just a quarter. How could it be worth $1.3 million? Well, that's exactly what we're about to discuss. Let's first take a closer look at the coin itself, the 2001p mint mark Washington quarter. This quarter is part of the United States Mint's regular circulation, produced at the Philadelphia Mint, hence the P mint mark. The Washington quarter, which has been in circulation since 1932, has undergone some changes over the years, and the 2001 version is a regular issue. But here's where things get interesting. Some of these quarters have something that makes them incredibly rare and valuable. Now, let's talk about errors. This is where things start to get juicy. You see, the reason this 2001p Washington quarter is worth up to $1.3 million is due to a rare minting error. Most coins you see in circulation are produced correctly, but sometimes, errors occur during the manufacturing process. These errors can be the key to making a coin incredibly valuable. One of the key minting errors that can increase a coin's value is a double die error. This is when a coin is struck twice during the minting process, causing parts of the design to appear doubled. And in the case of the 2001p Washington quarter, some of these coins feature just such a double die error. Take a look at this coin right here. Notice the doubling, especially around George Washington's eye, the word liberty, and even the date itself. This is the result of the double die error, and it's not something that happens every day. In fact, it's incredibly rare. Now, double die errors are not just a quirky little mistake. They can be extremely valuable, especially if they are found in the right year and mint. The 2001p mint mark Washington quarter with this error is one of the most sought-after coins by collectors. The rarity and the historical significance make it highly desirable. So how was this coin discovered, and how did it become known as one of the most valuable quarters out there? Well, it all began with sharp-eyed collectors and eagle-eyed numismatists who noticed something unusual in a batch of these 2001p Washington quarters. Collectors often go through rolls of coins from the bank, searching for unique and rare specimens. And when they stumbled upon a 2001p quarter with the double die error, they realized they had something extraordinary on their hands. As the word spread, more and more of these error coins began to surface, and the value started to skyrocket. Now, let's talk about the big question. How much is this 2001p mint mark Washington quarter worth? Well, it depends on the quality of the coin, but some of these error coins have sold for over $1.3 million at auction. Imagine holding a quarter that you probably spent in your pocket not too long ago, and now it's worth over $1 million. That's exactly what happened to a collector who found one of these double die error coins. But don't expect to find one of these for just a few dollars. The error is rare, and the coins that are in the best condition, those graded as MS65 or higher, are the ones that fetch the highest prices. The rarity combined with the excellent condition makes this coin a top contender for serious collectors. Now that we know how valuable this coin can be, the next important question is, how can you spot the error? Well, if you're going through your own rolls of 2001p Washington quarters, here's what to look for. First, take a close look at George Washington's face, especially his eye. If you see any doubling in that area, It's a good indication you've found the error. Next, check the word Liberty above Washington's head. If you notice the letters are doubled, you've got yourself a potential winner. Finally, check the date. The doubling of the year 2001 is a common spot for the error to show up. Of course, finding the error is just the first step. Once you find a coin with potential, the next step is grading and authentication. It's important to get your coin professionally graded to determine its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with higher numbers representing better condition. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. So, if you think you've found a double die error coin, you should send it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC to get an official grade. And don't forget about authentication. Because these coins are so valuable, there are some fakes and replicas out there. You'll want to make sure your coin is genuine before you try to sell it or add it to your collection. Now you may be wondering, why are these minting errors so valuable in the first place? Well, it comes down to rarity. When a coin is minted incorrectly, it becomes unique. Unlike regular coins that are mass-produced, error coins are rare, and rarity is what drives their value in the market. Collectors are always on the lookout for rare, unique items. A minting error like the double die error is something that can't be replicated, which makes these coins highly desirable. And that's why they can fetch millions of dollars at auction. The 2001 P Mint Mark Washington $quarter is a coin that, due to a rare double die error, can be worth up to $1.3 million. It's a reminder that sometimes, the most ordinary things can become extraordinary treasures. If you're a coin collector, keep your eyes peeled for these rare errors. Who knows, you could be sitting on a fortune.